Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We are very delighted to host you on the campus, and it was indeed a very interactive and an insightful session. How was your experience being a part of the discussion and interacting with the students?
Invigorating, right? We look forward to these opportunities to be able to add value to people who are going to soon enter industry. Right? So if we can add any value to what you are actually doing on a day-to-day basis and from industry, give you something more than what you're absorbing in your classrooms, and you can relate to that and that is useful to you, I would say it's a privilege. And personally, I always come back to SIBM. It's a great campus. And I would like to add as much value as possible, given the fact that we have so much experience, and I think now it's time to give back.
Yes, sir.
But the experience was wonderful. Thank you for being such a patient audience.
Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. Sir. And then you talked about the service sector being a major key point to India's growth, economic growth. So, but it has fallen to a low phase right now to like 50.2%. So, do you think it is a blip due to external factors like elections, or is it actually growing down? The growth?
Good question. I think the 2 quarters leading up to elections has been slow on all fronts. So services is not an exception. Political leaders took their eyes off the ball for these last 2 months, for obvious reasons. Bound to happen. So services now, I would believe, is what's going to propel us. Manufacturing are large investments, and they're not modular in nature. You can't do a little bit here, a little bit there. They come in as one large investment. So it's it's a binary situation. Services, you can keep adding on to your workforce, provided you're able to deliver cost, quality, and accuracy. And delivery is important. So, and we have a pretty good track record on that. So this is really the sector which has a large value add as well. We have a value add over 50% here. In manufacturing, it's only 20%. So this is really the key which will absorb many of the new workforce. Incidentally, there's 1 million people joining the workforce every month. So services is the only way to go. Manufacturing will never absorb that kind of talent. Plus, manufacturing is getting a lot more dependent on the new aids like robots, right? So from the people perspective, I think services is what we need here.
The World Economic Forum has called out saying that the skill development is like a major factor for our Indian economic growth. And it has also stated, citing that by 2022, we need to either reskill or like redevelop our workforce. So do you think Indian government is taking appropriate action towards this?
It's sporadic.
Okay.
Now, I think the need for skill development was realized almost 5-7 years back. We even had a dedicated skill development ministry under the charge of an independent senior minister. But there have been ups and downs, and everybody cannot go into colleges and become engineers and doctors. And they have to be deployed in sectors where their skills are appropriately developed for that sector, and they need not be PhDs. So that's a big need here for the bulk of our population. Our system today is we subject the bulk of our population to unnecessary education. If we could develop the talent and skill appropriate for industry, and that's all that they need to know, it would be such a big help.
Now, recently, a PM Yojana has been extended to all the farmers. And then, which is like costing around rupees 90,000 crore to the government, and it's like around 3.3% of GDP. Do you think this much amount is required for just increasing rural consumption, or could this be used for infrastructure development?
Our farmer today, in the last 50 years of our independence, has hardly progressed. If you leave these large towns and you go in places even 25 kilometers outside the city, the life which they've seen has not dramatically altered over the last 50, 60 years of our independence. It's a crying need today. Something on which I'm personally very passionately involved as part of our community relationship projects. I think we will need to address the farm population. The way our economic growth has gone after our independence has not been inclusive for them. If there was one sector which I would like to address as part of our ongoing initiatives and something that we would like to accelerate, that is the sector where even today we have farmer suicides in large numbers. And they are the people who are crying for help. So it's full marks to the government. They are putting the kind of the investment that they are. And infrastructure and the benefit of farmer need not be mutually exclusive. That would be my answer on that one. And really, I am personally passionate about it.
Okay. So you've been holding a very significant position of responsibility for a really long time now.
Yes.
So it must be really hectic as well. So how do you rejuvenate yourself?
Well, I'm very passionate about what I do. So my work actually excites me. And I have a working schedule which starts at 9 o'clock. And by the time I get home, it's rarely before 9. So that's my work schedule on a daily basis. And on the weekends, I rejuvenate myself by playing golf. And that's almost a religion for me, which means Saturday mornings 9 holes, Sunday 18 holes, and 18 holes does take a major part of Sunday. But work 5 days a week, and then the 6th and the 7th day, I know what to do. So that keeps me going, right? But I think the essential thing is I am very passionate about what I do.
That's very important, I think.
Yes.
And so on a closing note, from your rich experience, what would you like to give to the students? What advice would you like to give to them in order to become a very successful leader?
Okay, good question. And I often add that as part of my town halls within our company. And the first thing is your own credibility. Because never put your credibility at stake. Credibility is important. It's like the china glass. Once you break it, it never restores completely. Even if you stick it together, there is a crack visible. Yes, you can stick it together, but it's never going to be like what it was. So ensure your credibility is always maintained and you do what you're passionate about and serious about. Never do something half-hearted, because your heart is not going to be there, your passion is not going to be there, and then you're going to make a mess of it. So don't do that. Be serious about whatever you may be doing. Just be serious about it, and always remember your credibility is as good as the last moment. So I think be serious about what you do. And really, if you can manage your passion and your career, they come together at some stage, that's great. That's your success mantra. I would leave it for our students who will soon be joining industry.
Thank you.
So with that, all the best. And again,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for having me here.
It was our pleasure hosting
I
you.
always love coming back to SIBM.
Thank you, sir. It was
Thank
our
you.
pleasure too. And thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you.